I want to talk about succession management. My name is Professor Bwisa. Yes, I have taught, trained, and researched in the field of entrepreneurship for 3 decades now. One of my consistent topics has been family business succession management. Now, like elsewhere in Africa, there is a big problem in family business succession management in Kenya. But I'm not going to belabor the importance of family businesses in Kenya as elsewhere. The importance is well documented. Here, I'll focus on a guide for family business succession management that I've developed over the years. Now, family businesses are complex, carrying 3 distinctive interactions: the business, the ownership, and the family. And this makes it tricky, the process of management, even succession management. There we have the ownership cycle, we have the family cycle, and we have the business cycle. And there are interactions. You can see the Venn diagram. It's giving us interactions. Look, out here, number 1, this implies the non-family employees with no ownership. They are in the business, but they are not in the family, and they are not part of the ownership. That's one category of interactions. The second, these are business owners who are neither family members nor business employees. Yes, they may be outsiders, yes, maybe partners, quasi-partners, if you want. They are not employed in the business, they are not family members, but they own the business. Then there is 3, the family. These are family members who neither own nor work in the business. Yes, they are those family members who just don't take part in the business, they don't even own it. So those are the outside interactions. Then we have number 4. These ones are employed family but non-owners. You can see they are in the business, they are employed in the cycle of business. They are in the cycle of family, so they are family members, but they don't own. They are non-owners, they don't own the business. The employees, they are family members, but they don't own the business. Then we have number 5. You see, outside the family, non-family members, but they are employed and they own. See, maybe the business sold shares. And then we have number 6, unemployed family owners. They are not in the business. They own the business, but they are not employed in it. And lastly, number 7, we have the employed family owners. They are family members, they have ownership, and they are working the business. And so, succession management targets 6 and 7. We want to succession management either a family member owning it and employed, or he may not be employed but family owner. So that is the target for for succession management in a family business. Now, when it comes to family businesses, I have discovered that the apple often falls very far from the tree. Children, for any number of reasons, don't want to take over the reins. But there are ways for parents to make that scenario less likely. Well, if they want to, if the parents really want to, they can attempt to convince their children to be part of the family business. 1. Start a conversation. The first step to developing a robust succession plan for your family business should be to sit down and have a candid conversation with family members. It's important to have a clear sense of who would like to be part of the organization, part of the business, and who would not. Make sure that your son or daughter want to take over the family business. Try to convince them. Try to sell the idea to them. You know, it is the rest of their career and life that you are asking them to devote to the business. It can happen that adult children don't really want the job, but do it anyway. Borrow from Mark Zuckerberg. He says, the biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that is changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. So take a risk. They may refuse, but have a try. Number 2, involve your kids at an early age. You know, involving kids in the business at an early age in a positive way is the best way to ensure they will be enticed to join the business later on. Therefore, succession planning should start from a very early age by building work ethic, building the understanding of the business, and building the mindset. At my high school in the 1970s, I had an Indian colleague, whereas at my free time, I made football from racks to play. He helped out at his family shop counter. Their family business stayed on to date. Sometimes, founders have a dream that their children will take over the family businesses, but the children simply are not interested. This may happen when the founder shuts out the family from the day-to-day interaction of the business, or is so busy building the business and not spending time with their families that the kids begin to resent the business and want nothing to do with it when they get older. Yes, sometimes we are on doing. We want them to take over, but we do not involve them. Any deals that we do, any networking that we go around there with business partners, they are not in the picture, and yet we want them to inherit it. You know, I was in Zambia and was on this agribusiness farm, and I asked this boy, his father insists that he works on the business, on the farm, with farm hands, with agribusiness employees. But at the end of the month, the employees get a salary and the son gets nothing. So he tells me, I'm not interested. I'm working, probably working better than the employees, but dad does not give me any salary they earn. So not involving positively your child might scare them away from your business. Number 3, hold meetings and discuss succession. Good succession planning boils down to involving family members, no matter which generation they belong to or their immediate contribution to the farm. Keep in mind, and this is very important, that it is not the role of the present leadership to micromanage the meeting process. You want every influential member of the farm or business and family to be able to speak openly and offer their opinion. You know, don't be in the league of those who say children are there to be seen and not to be heard. Indeed, children should be seen, heard, and listened to. So in some cultures, children, women are not supposed to be heard. And then you expect them to take over when you are old or gone. It doesn't work. Number 4, talk about what you do, and do it a lot. You know, we expect our children to talk about their school day at the dinner table, don't we? We should also talk about our work day. It is good for our kids to know where the money comes from and understand what it takes to support a family. And you can show them what passion looks like and the reward of working hard. Talking about the work you do can encourage an entrepreneurial mindset and a strong work ethic in your kids. Yeah, somebody says, not every student will become an entrepreneur, but they will all someday need to think like one. Yes, your kids, they may want to go for white-collar jobs, they want to be employed, but let them know that at the end of it all, they will retire. And therefore, when they retire, they will end up in business. I always say, nobody becomes a millionaire working for another. So, strong work ethic is necessary when you keep talking about your business in their presence, at the dinner table, on the weekends. Let them get hearing about it and how beneficial it is and how they are themselves benefiting or enjoying the fruits of the business. Number 5, present the business as an option and not an obligation. Yes, to your kids, let it look like an option. Many of us parents hope that our children will want to follow in our footsteps and join the family business. That's what we think. But some of us fall into the trap of overselling the need to follow the family tradition. Others never bring up the subject because they don't want to pressure their children. Oh, my child's school, let him go on with the school. Let me not pressure him by, talking about the business. Now, the key is to present your business or the family business as an opportunity, not as an obligation. How may you want to do it? Please, let's tell our 15, 16-year-old children that whatever they choose to do with their lives, we will support and encourage them. We could add that it's probably too soon for you at 15 to know now what you want to do. If you should become interested in the family business, you will be very welcome. You can clearly see that the business is making our ends meet. It can be better. You may agree with me that such a conversation is very rare. Rarely takes place in family businesses. Yes, we need to increase that conversations, not as not as an obligation. Let them see it as an option. Number 6, let them help out the grand work. Every office has manual tasks that no one likes to do. If your kids are old enough, pass it off to them. Allow them to staple papers, to clean conference tables, to lock computers, etc. Kids love to help, and allowing them to be actively involved will not only increase their interest in the business, but indeed they will increase their skills about the business. By having them lend a hand with something, even if it's a small task, They will feel truly involved in your business. So don't keep them off. Don't keep them away. Number 7, don't let it get personal. Family succession can bring out underlying conflict and spill into personal lives. Separating feelings from fact could be tricky. Some parents have favorite children at various points in their life. Having one child on the outs shouldn't immediately disqualify them from business service. You may want to get professional help. You may want to get a mediator or a relative to talk about them if you are not able to do it. So, don't shy away from outside help if you are not making ends meet. Number 8, give your gig ownership, not management. It is common for parents to want to keep the company within the family. You have worked all your life to get to this place, so why would you want to give it to a stranger? There are other options, of course. If your son or daughter wants to keep the business in the family but has no interest in managing, then you can give them ownership instead. This means that your heir would still have some oversight in the company while also profiting. They could remain a board member, offering insight over the years. Then you might be interested in passing on a management role to a trusted colleague or another family member instead. And now, here is a simple checklist for your succession management planning. Yes, look at this wheel. 7 points here, and all networked, all interconnected. The owner's dream, your dream, the family's vision, the business strategic plan, preparing successors, leadership transition, ownership transfer, and estate plan. All intertwined, all networked. Let's see. The owner's dream checklist. How do you want to spend your golden years? Think about it. What will it take financially to live your dream? Do you want to keep the business in the family? Can you make the shift from me to we? My business to our business? Think about that. Dream for yourself and the family, and let them know about the dream. The family's vision. Do members of your family have a vision for their own lives? Ask them. Does the next generation wish to own and operate the business? Inquire from them. You see, have fun with family, with everyone writing a family vision, and then compile one from them. Compile a family vision from them. Relax. Let everybody write their dreams and combine all that into one. You start, ownership start coming in. The business strategic plan. Does the company or your business strategic plan support the family's vision and values? You see, you have already written your vision, the family. Do you have a strategic plan? And does it answer to that? Is the business positioned for long-term viability and succession? Think about that. Could the business survive your untimely death or disability? Let the family know that. Let the family think about that. This is, your business is earning them a living. If anything happened, what will be of the business? Psychologically, let them think about that. Now, if you cannot do, then you cannot do that, let's say a strategic plan, then let an expert do it for you. It's important. It's good to have a strategic plan which is owned by the family. And then we have succession preparation. You prepare your successors. You're thinking of which family members will enter the business. Who will you prepare for succession? Think about it. And how will you prepare them? Think about that one. At the end of my talk, I'll give you a simple flow diagram which you can follow to address these checklist questions. And then leadership transition. You are asking, who will run the business? How will you ease the transition? Leadership, look, even bad, there must be a leader daring to go. Observe your kids and identify this leader. They are there. Group dynamics tells us that everyone in a group has a role. So identify them and that's what we can do. You see? Again, use my simple flow diagram at the end of this talk for assistance. Then ownership transfer. Please do not hang on for too long. There are some of us who hang on for too long. I am told that much as the Asian community is very good at succession management, there is an old man who hung on the business for too long, and when he died, actually the family sold that business. It's very rare, but that is it, because of hanging on for too long. So you're asking, when will the change in ownership take place? You can plan in advance for it. Who will own the business? Look, the key. Whom are you going to give the key? Think about that. And then the last, estate plan. How can you leave your family and the business in the best possible financial shape? Look, you have been growing, you have grown. If you have your strategic plan, you are growing, you should be leaving your family when the business has reached there. And they should have been along the way with us or with you in the business. So, we are summarizing the 7 steps. Let's say, develop a dream, like to leave a vibrant business to my kids. That could be a dream. Family vision, like we are overcomers. If everybody in the family has that vision, strategic plan, sit at the table, good time and where are we? Where do we want to go? How do we get there? Strategic plan. Who will do what? That is preparing successors. Who will take over? Leadership transition. When will I let go? Ownership transfer. And finally, how much will I leave for them? All these questions. And if you are thinking together, the chances are that the children are getting interested. So, here is my simple succession planning flow diagram. There you are owner of the business. Ask yourself, is the spouse, child, or other relative a possible successor? Ask that question and then answer. If you are not sure, then you are better off writing a business disposal will. Write a will, when I'm gone, my business will be taken over. Now, if no, you have asked yourself, is spouse, child, or other relative a possible successor? The answer is no. Then employ and mentor and family members whom will you evaluate, select, and install replacement in good time. The same question. Yes. You have asked yourself, is spouse, child, or other relative a possible successor? Yes. Then get family members or a member, one, to either work in business or get training about that business or work for a similar business. At every stage, you are evaluating, selecting, and installing a replacement in good time. This is very simple. You can have a more complex succession planning flow, but this could be a good beginning. Remember, succession is a lengthy process that shouldn't be left to chance. You may wish to regard succession as an extended process of at least 3 years minimum. It can take longer. Like the hare and the tortoise, slow and steady will always win the race. Don't be in a hurry, but again, don't wait for too long. So, finally, I want to give you some do's and don'ts in this succession planning. Do involve children in the business as they grow up, but don't let the family business dictate your young child's life. Do make joining the business optional, but don't put your children in roles they are not well suited for. Finally, do let your children help determine what roles might be the right for them. What is your critical time? Succession critical time. This is you. Your graph over time. It picks up over time and then it drops. That means you are towards the end of your life, you need security. But your children, when you are now going down needing security, probably they now need freedom to pursue goals and grow their future. That's a critical area. And now, death, estate transfer. As you die, your kids are at the peak. They will also follow you and their kids. And therefore, if you do the planning, succession management, and the business can stay generation after generation. It has happened. It can happen with you. So, thank you for listening. Asante sana. I do some chicken. My daughter is behind the scenes. We do together. I hope we shall succeed. You can reach me, Professor Henry Mbwisa. That's my email, wihem@gmail.com. I have a website and I have my number. Thank you for listening. Let's try to do succession management. If you don't risk, then it is even worse. The biggest risk is not to risk.